2022 Toyota Prius Prime. What do you need to know about Toyota's plug-in hybrid vehicle? That's what we're going to find out. Welcome to Car Help Corner, where we help you, the consumer, master the process of car buying and car ownership. More and more consumers are becoming very interested in buying fully electric cars, but the problem with a lot of electric cars is that they're still very expensive. Most of the popular models can easily cost upwards of $40,000 to $50,000, and they also have certain compromises when it comes to electric driving range, being able to charge and plug them in, so they're still not the perfect solution for a lot of consumers. That's what's so great about plug-in hybrid electric cars. They are the perfect transition car for anyone who's looking to move from a traditional gas car into a fully electric car. You get the benefits of owning an electric car, like being able to drive around on pure electricity without using any gasoline, but you also don't have any of the compromises. You don't have to worry about plugging it in and running out of range because you have that gas engine there as a backup just in case. Plug-in hybrid cars also tend to be a lot more affordable than fully electric cars. So is a plug-in hybrid like the 2022 Prius Prime the perfect type of electrified car to go with? Well, make sure to stick around to the end of the video because that's what we're going to find out. Now, like I touched on earlier, the great thing about plug-in hybrids like the Prius Prime is that they do give you the best of both worlds. This car can go around 25 miles or 40 kilometers on pure electric driving range. Now, I know that doesn't sound like a lot, but it's actually just enough for a lot of city drivers who do a lot of short distance stop and go city driving, who are realistically not going to be using a lot of gas driving this car. After you use up that electric range, the Prius Prime can go an additional 600 miles or up to 1,000 kilometers in regular hybrid mode. And it's not like this thing isn't efficient in hybrid mode. You can get around 55 to 60 miles per gallon or 4 to 4.5 liters per 100 kilometers driving this as a regular hybrid, which makes it one of the most efficient cars that you can buy. And because this thing doesn't have a huge battery pack like a regular electric car, it doesn't take a long time to charge one of these up once you've used up that electric range. You can get a full charge on one of these in a little over 5 hours using just a regular household outlet, which is pretty amazing. And if you have a level 2 240 volt charger, you can charge one of these up in just over 2 hours, which is a lot faster than a regular electric car. The Prime also gives you a few different drive modes. You can put it into full EV mode where it's going to run on just electricity at speeds up to 70 miles an hour or 135 kilometers an hour, which is really nice. Or you can just put it into EV auto mode where the gas engine might kick in when it's absolutely needed. Like say when you're driving up a steep hill where you can use that extra power, but you don't want to use up that electric range too much. Now, whether you drive this car in EV mode or hybrid mode, it's realistically not going to make a lot of power. All we've got here is a 1.8 liter 4-cylinder engine matched to an electric motor and battery pack that produces a little over 120 horsepower. Although this car doesn't produce a lot of power, I actually think it's perfectly adequate, especially for city driving. And in the end, this car is not really about having a lot of power. It's more about fuel economy and saving money. And in that respect, this is about as good as it gets. And at least it's a very quiet and smooth hybrid system. The transition between electric mode and gas mode is absolutely seamless. Toyota has been making hybrid systems for a very long time, and they have the technology figured out. So if you're looking for refinement, this is about as good as it gets. I also find this to be a very comfortable car to drive too. I've been putting a lot of mileage on this tester and I've been very happy with it. I mean, obviously it's not a sports sedan. It doesn't have the sharpest handling or anything like that, but for what it is, it's a really good car. It takes corners very well. It's easy to park and maneuver. I mean, I'd be very happy to drive one of these things every day. One of the things though that I'm not totally sold on with this car is the interior layout. Now, it is a very high quality interior. Everything feels very well put together. I'm just not sold on the usability and straightforwardness of the control setup. There are actually two entirely different control setups for this car depending on which trim level you go with. If you just get a base model car, for example, you get a 7-inch touchscreen with traditional climate controls below it, pretty much the same setup that you see in a lot of other Toyota models. If you go for one of the higher trim levels, however, you get a large 11.6-inch portrait-style touchscreen infotainment system, which is very different to use. You can tell that Toyota was trying to imitate something like Tesla with this large touchscreen that pretty much controls everything inside this car. And I don't think they were that successful because, for one thing, the graphics on the screen are pretty dated looking. It's a very flat looking interface. It's not that responsive to inputs, and the overall menu structure and layout is not that intuitive. It's an okay control setup, but there are definitely better systems out there. And the other issue with it is that it only has Apple CarPlay. There is no Android Auto, but oddly, if you go for the base model with the 7-inch touchscreen, that one does come with both Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. This must be the only car that you can buy when, if you go for the more expensive version, you're actually taking away Android Auto rather than adding it in. Very strange. Aside from the so-so touchscreen, this is a pretty nice interior for the price point. The seats are very comfortable, there's lots of space both in the front and back seats to sit comfortably, and you have a pretty good sized cargo area too. Although it isn't quite as roomy as that in the regular Prius, thanks to a larger battery pack that creates a higher load floor, but you can still fold the back seats flat to give you lots of extra space. The Prime also offers a lot of great features for the money. On this top trim test car, for example, I've got a great sounding 10-speaker JBL sound system. I've got a full color head-up display, wireless smartphone charging pad. We've got blind spot monitoring with rear cross traffic alert, an automatic parking system. There's a lot of value baked into this car for the price point. Even the base version of the Prime comes very well equipped, including Toyota Safety Sense, which gives you valuable safety features like automatic emergency braking, lane departure warning with auto steer, and adaptive cruise control, all of which come standard on this car. And then of course we have one of the best things about the Prime, which is the amazing value that it offers. This is one of the most affordable electrified cars on the market. The fact that you can get into one of these for under 30,000 US or under 35,000 Canadian is absolutely amazing. The Prius Prime can undercut other electrified cars by thousands of dollars, and I'm not even taking into consideration the fact that in many areas it's eligible for electric vehicle incentives, which can reduce the price even more, making it an amazing deal even compared to the regular Prius, which doesn't even have that dedicated electric range. Not only is this car a really good buy in terms of the price, but it's also a great car in terms of long-term operating costs, because the Prius, like many Toyota hybrids, has an amazing reputation for long-term reliability. This is a car that you can buy and hold on to for a very long time and not have to worry about repair costs and operating costs because it's built to last. Toyota has one of the best reputations on the market when it comes to the reliability of their hybrid cars, and that reputation has also given them amazing resale value. So this car is also going to be worth a lot of money down the road if you ever need to trade it in or sell it as well. If you're just looking for a solid, low-maintenance car to buy and hold on to for a very long time, this is really about as good as it's going to get. Not only are these cars very durable and known to last for an extremely long time, but you also get one of the best warranties on the market too. Toyota includes an 8-year warranty on the hybrid components, which is very similar to other hybrid and electric cars, but you also get a 10-year warranty on the hybrid battery pack. So if you buy one of these things, realistically, you don't have much to be concerned about for a very long time. I also think that the Prius Prime is just a much safer option than any of the other comparable plug-in hybrids on the market, which there's not very many of them out there. If you're looking for a regular plug-in hybrid car, you could also consider the Honda Clarity, which has a good electric range. There's also the Hyundai Ioniq, which comes in a plug-in hybrid version, although it is about to be replaced by an all-new model. And since Chevy no longer makes the plug-in hybrid Volt, the Prius Prime is a little bit of a standout. Electric cars are now more popular than ever before, and I don't think that's a trend that's going to be changing anytime soon. But as long as we're still in that transition period, I think that cars like the Prius Prime are still going to be a great option for a lot of consumers. Although the Prius Prime is not perfect, it doesn't have a lot of power, the touchscreen on the higher trim levels definitely has some issues, and the styling isn't to everyone's taste, I still think that this is one of the best electrified cars on the market if you're looking for something at an affordable price point. And it's just a no-brainer when compared to the standard Prius, especially if you can pick up one of these for a similar price. So let me know what you think of the Prius Prime. Would you pick up one of these if you're looking for an electrified car, or would you buy something else instead? Let me know in the comments. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like and subscribe. You can also check out some of my other car videos by taking a look at these links over here. Make sure to follow me on TikTok and Instagram. And if you need any additional car buying advice, recommendations, or help with getting a great deal on your next new car purchase, make sure to check out carhelpcanada.com. Thanks so much for watching, and see you next time.